Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We have predicted the record for every single college football team. And you have been there with us every step of the way throughout this entire offseason and all summer long. And now, we are less than a week away from the start of this college football season. And today, we're bringing you the grand finale. Today, we are sharing with you our official college football playoff predictions and official New Year's Six bowl game predictions heading into this college football season. Which teams will make one of the more coveted bowl games in all of college football? Which four teams will be fighting for a spot in the national championship game? That is what we're about to share with you today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad that you could join us as we wrap up prediction season and begin this upcoming college football season. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. One of the lowest prices in the country for some of the best picks in the country, beating out over 80% of the national handicappers each of the last 5 years. So if you want a guaranteed winning record, guaranteed money right back in your pocket, I mean, you're going to win big, and the best customer service that any handicapper in the country can give you, this is the place for you. Go sign up today over on thegridironexpert.com. It's one of the best deals in the country for the best guaranteed marks in the country that no one else can give you. We can guarantee you that. Check out our Patreon account as well. Exclusive college football content there year-round. Become a member of that Patreon Wall of Fame and send us some gear. We've got quite a bit of gear up here already. We'd love to get some more teams, more conferences represented, especially as we begin this upcoming season. Send us some gear of your favorite team or whoever it may be, especially some helmets, because we have a lot of room for them, over to that mailing address down in the description below so we can represent them in every single Gridiron Expert video. So let's do it. Let's do it. Without further ado, the Gridiron Expert's official college football playoff predictions. Let's pull them up. And there you go. There is your bracket. We've got the Sugar Bowl between Georgia and USC, the Rose Bowl between Michigan and Clemson. That is going to be your two college football playoff semifinal games. And you look at this. Some of these I think are pretty obvious, right? I think a lot of people nationwide are going to have Georgia and Michigan in at 1 and 2, and more than likely would be Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2. We have them both projected undefeated. Georgia winning the SEC, Michigan winning the Big Ten. Georgia 1, Michigan 2. And at number 3, Clemson might be a surprise to some, seeing them in at the 3rd seed, playing Michigan in the Rose Bowl. That'd be a phenomenal matchup way out west. This is a Clemson team, guys, that's good. I think a lot of people are trying to write off the Tigers, considering the quote-unquote struggles they've had the last couple of years. But it's still the reigning ACC champions. Got a great new offensive coordinator in Garrett Riley. You've got Cade Klubnik. You've got Will Shipley. You've got a great offense that people are sleeping on. The defense will be one of the best in the country. The biggest games for Clemson this year are at home. South Carolina, yes, is on the road. We understand that. But Florida State and Notre Dame, both in Death Valley, where the Tigers are dang near unbeatable under Dabo Swinney. Had a 40-game home winning streak snapped last year against South Carolina. But again, 40 straight wins at home prior to that. Clemson, guys, we do have finishing the year undefeated, 13-0, winning the ACC, making the college football playoff. Would not be shocked to see them slip up somewhere, maybe in the regular season, maybe to a Florida State, maybe to a Notre Dame, maybe to a South Carolina, but we do believe the Tigers are playoff worthy and playoff caliber. They get in as the 3rd seed. And then USC in as the 4th seed, taking on Georgia. So the strength of Georgia's defense versus the might of USC's offense and Caleb Williams. Talking about a battle. I think both of these playoff semifinal games, if they were to come to fruition, would be unbelievable, would be close, would be just as good as the ones we had last year, which were arguably was the best year when it came to the college football playoff semifinals. But you take a look at USC. I mean, yes, I know that could be a long shot for some. We had them at 12-1, winning the Pac-12. So they are the Pac-12 champion, and we do have them in over a team like Alabama, a team like LSU, a team like possibly Penn State, someone like that. That is Texas even, who we have winning the Big 12. We have them in over that because USC, in our eyes, is only going to have one loss. If they are a one-loss Pac-12 champion with such great teams in the conference, such as Utah, Oregon, Washington, the likes of that, we do believe the Trojans will get in. They were one win away from the playoff last year. We believe they can find themselves in that position again this year, and Lincoln Riley gets them over the hump. And everybody's going to point to the defense, talk about how bad USC's defense is. Well, the defense in Oklahoma were god-awful too, and they found a way to get in. They might not get to the national championship, but they're going to get there. We believe that Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley finally get USC into the college football playoff where they will take on Georgia, but ultimately fall to the Bulldogs. Our national championship game is Georgia versus Michigan. Both games, in our eyes, will be phenomenal, but we do have the Bulldogs going for a three-peat, trying to win their third straight national title, facing off against Michigan, who, again, has just fallen short the last two college football playoffs. Fell to Georgia in the semifinals a couple years ago, fell in a shocking upset to TCU last year. The million-dollar question is this is the year. Could this be the year that Michigan finally gets to the championship? We believe it is. And can they win it? That is an answer that we'll have for you at a later date. But that is your projected college football playoff from here at the Gridiron Expert. The SEC, Big Ten, ACC, and Pac-12 champions all making the college football playoff. Georgia versus Michigan for your national championship. You go over to the New Year's Six bowl games. A lot of teams at the at-large, right? A lot of good teams that are going to miss out on the playoff, and I really wish that this was the year we had the expanded playoff. You know, this is the last year of the 4-team playoff. Next year it should expand to 12. If only we had it this year. There's a lot of teams that would be, in my eyes, playoff worthy. Look at these matchups in our projected New Year's Six bowl game. Starting in the Cotton Bowl, where we believe we get a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a preview of what's to come next year in the SEC, as Texas, our projected Big 12 champions, will take on LSU, who does have a legitimate shot at a college football playoff berth. We have the Tigers finishing 11-1. So if USC were to slip up, maybe lose in the Pac-12 championship game or something like that, you could find a way for LSU to become maybe last year's Ohio State, where they don't play for their conference title, but because of what happens elsewhere, LSU slips in to that 4 seed in the college football playoff, although I highly doubt that they would allow Georgia to play LSU in the opening round. So there might be some reseeding there, but regardless, the Tigers are legit, have a shot to get there. We don't, but we think they fall just short. They played Texas in the Cotton Bowl, a heated game a couple years ago when these two teams met in Austin. Obviously now going to be SEC rivals going forward beginning next season. So a great little preview in Arlington. No better matchup to me and no better preview of what's to come next year. Texas versus LSU. The Peach Bowl, Ohio State versus Washington. We have the Buckeyes and Washington both finishing the year at 10-2, both slipping in there. Washington, the Pac-12 runner-up, falling to USC in the Pac-12 championship game. Ohio State missing out on the Big Ten championship game again. 2 losses may come as a surprise, but the Buckeyes have a brutal schedule, guys. They have to go to Notre Dame. They have to go to Michigan. They play a good Penn State team. They obviously have to go to Wisconsin, who is no slouch either. So Ohio State losing 2 games, not out of the realm of possibility, but still would earn a New Year's Six bowl berth. They take on Washington, and I love this matchup. 2 great offenses. You know, obviously we're assuming no opt-outs. I'm sure that will happen, but Washington's offense with Michael Penix leading against this Ohio State offense with arguably the best wide receiver core in the nation should be a heck of a battle if hopefully all these players stick around and play. More than likely they wouldn't, but one can dream. The Orange Bowl, Florida State and Alabama, the only New Year's Six bowl game that still has tie-ins, right? The Orange Bowl is going to be the highest-ranked ACC team that's not in the college football playoff. In this case, it would be Florida State taking on Alabama, the ACC playing, of course, a Big Ten or SEC team. And what better way and what better matchup to have than Florida State and Alabama, 2 very, very historic programs. The Orange Bowl, one of the more historic bowl games out there. This would be a phenomenal matchup here with Mike Norvell, young coach, taking on Nick Saban, the greatest of all time. An Alabama team that unfortunately falls short of a college football playoff berth again, falling short into Georgia in the SEC championship game. So does Alabama have that motivation to take down the Florida State team that they themselves are upset on missing the college football playoff, but find themselves in New Year's Six bowl game? It's a bowl upgrade as compared to last year. Have a shot, the Seminoles would, to clinch an 11-win season and a New Year's Six bowl win. The motivation in their home state, maybe more so there than the Crimson Tides, would be a very, very intriguing game. And Alabama, you know they're going to hear it. If they fail to make the playoff, they're going to continue to hear that the dynasty's over and that Saban's lost his touch. And those talks and that argument for some would only continue to grow if Bama were to lose to Florida State in the Orange Bowl. So a very exciting game there. And then the Fiesta Bowl, Boise State versus Penn State. Yes, we have the Boise State Broncos coming in as the highest-ranked Group of 5 champion. It's really going to be a battle between Boise State, to me, the top 3 teams in the Group of 5 fighting for the spot. Boise State, UTSA, and Tulane, those 2 teams coming in the American Athletic Conference. Tulane was that team last year. Really, Boise wins the Mountain West, has the strength of schedule to get the attention of the playoff committee to finish as the highest ranked group of 5 team. They take on a Penn State team that is loaded with talent from top to bottom. Some say this has to be the year they break through the playoff under James Franklin. The schedule is there for them to do so. They have to go to Ohio State, yes, but they do get to host Michigan, a huge benefit for the Nittany Lions. If they can just win one of those games, all bets are off, and maybe the Nittany Lions do find themselves in the college football playoff. But we believe they fall just a little bit short, take on Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl, which should be a very intriguing matchup there. And obviously we know Boise State in their history of surprising performances and surprising upsets in the Fiesta Bowl. Could we be in store for another one this year if they do in fact take on the Nittany Lions in Arizona? So there you have it, guys. Those are our projected college football playoff picks and our New Year's Six Bowl picks. Will these come to fruition? Some of them will. We believe some of them will. Some of them probably will not. We'll have some surprise teams in there. We'll miss the mark on a handful of these teams. That's the beauty of college football, guys. That's the beauty of these predictions. No one knows what the heck's going to happen. That's why you play the games. And we are playing the games this week. College football, guys, is officially here. The wait is over. The offseason is over. Football is back. And we're going to have you covered every step of the way right here on the Gridiron Expert. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here on YouTube. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. Again, if you want some of the best spread picks in the entire country, sign up for those today. Our first picks come out this Wednesday. We will have week 0 picks on our website this week. So go sign up, one of the lowest prices in the country for the guaranteed best picks in the country. Check that out down in the description below. Check out our Patreon account and check out our mailing address to send us your team's gear. Whoever your team may be, send us some gear so we can represent them in every single Gridiron Expert video. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.